All right, today we're going to look at another aspect of pronunciation, but now we're going to look at stressed words, stressed parts of, places where you stress words as they get longer. So we're going to look at how word stress changes as the structure or the meaning of the word changes when we add suffixes and prefixes. So this is going to be very interesting and hopefully very educational for some of you. I'm not sure you've ever had such a discussion. Some of you new learners probably haven't had these discussions. So we're going to look at how the stress on a word changes as the word itself is modified or is changed as we add suffixes. A suffix is something like ION or IAN or IC. When you add these sort of small parts of speech at the end, these are suffixes. Prefixes are those you add to the beginning of a word. But as you add suffixes and prefixes, sometimes the stress on the word changes, and that's what we're going to look at today, and hopefully you'll find it very interesting and very educational. I'm taking a lot of this from the Hancock book by CUP, Cambridge University Press, called English Pronunciation. So that is a very helpful resource for us. All right, so just to give you an idea of what happens as we elongate the word with either a prefix, un at the beginning, or with some of the suffixes with ness or full, we start to see. In this case, the stress doesn't change, but we're going to see a lot of other examples where they do change. So we have forget, forgetful, forgetfulness, forgettable, unforgettable. And in all 5 instances, the stress is the same on get. But we're going to practice ones where they differ. Now, if you have a question, you just push the question button at the bottom of your screen and you write your question. I won't keep the comments on because I don't want distractions, but you can ask a question. If you don't have a question button at the bottom, you need to update your app, your Instagram app. All right, let's begin. Let's begin. Let's look at the next slide. Stress is unchanged. So let's look at instances where it's unchanged when we add these suffixes. The suffixes here are able, all, full, hood, and ing. So let's take a look. Drink, drinkable. Drink, drinkable. No change in the stress. Music, musical. Music, musical. Play, player. Play, player. Help, helpful. Help, helpful. Child, childhood. Child, childhood. Bore, boring. Bore, boring. Boring, if you're bored, that means you find it uninteresting. Hopefully you do not find these classes, these pronunciation classes, boring. Here are more suffixes where we don't have a change in the stress of the word. So we have in, im, eyes, ish, less, lee, and meant. So let's practice. The first one is a prefix. So we have possible, impossible. Possible, impossible. One more time, because I stressed probably a little bit confusing the first one. So possible, impossible. Next, civil, civilize. Civil, civilize. Child, childish. Child, childish. Now, we all know what a child is, but if someone is behaving or acting childish, it means they're older than a child, but they're acting like a child. So this is a criticism. It's not positive, it's negative. Quit acting like a child. You're a grown-up. You're an adult. Don't be childish. Immature is a synonym for childish. All right, we have child, childless. Child, childless. Some families are childless. That means they have no children. You have a husband and a wife, or a pair, a couple, but they have no children, so they are childless. Friend, friendly. Friend, friendly. Employ, employment. Employ, employment. So we have a verb to employ, and the noun is employment. Friend is a noun, friendly is an adverb. So you can see how the quality of the word changes as we add suffixes and prefixes. All right. Sorry about that. Let's move on. That's not what I wanted. Just some notes for me. Let's go here to this one. All right, we have a few suffixes and a few prefixes. Ready? Happy, happiness. Happy, happiness. So happy is an adjective. I am happy. Happiness, N-E-S-S, is a noun. So you can always understand it as a noun. Next, we have friend, friendship. Friend, friendship. Happy, unhappy. Happy, unhappy. One more time. Happy, unhappy. Finally, pay, underpay. Pay, underpay. So if you are underpaid, it means you're not paid enough. All right, let's go to the next one. Here we have altered stress. So let's take a look at these words. So I'll do both and you repeat after me. Educate, education. Educate, education. Decorate, decoration. Decorate, decoration. Communicate, communication. Communicate, communication. Electric, electrician. Electric, electrician. An electrician is a person who works with electricity. They're often putting the wires in a home or a building, so that's a person. Finally, we have music, musician. Music, musician. So here we have the music as a noun and musician is the person who plays the music. Let's move on to a few more altered stress situations. We're going to practice it some more. Abdicate, abdication. If you abdicate, you renounce your position. You quit. So if I'm the president abdicates, it means the president quits. Abdicate, abdication. Allege, allegation. If you allege something, it means you say something, you make a claim, but that's not proven yet. So it hasn't been proven. Often in court, it must be proven. Allege, allegation. We have a verb and then a noun. Appreciate, appreciation. Appreciate, appreciation. Assimilate, assimilation. So if you assimilate into a group, you come from the outside and you become part of the group. You have to adjust to the norms, the rules sometimes, and you assimilate. So that is to sort of phase in or become part of an organization when you were on the outside. So you assimilate, or the process of assimilation. And I just want to say, if you guys are enjoying this video, you can share it, even right now, you can share it on your Instagram with your friends and let them know that they too can benefit. Assert, assertion. Assert, assertion. Again, we have the verb and the noun, you can see. Assume, assumption. Assume, assumption. So if you assume something, it means you accept it without proving it. You just accept it. It's an assumption. So you assume that your math teacher is qualified to teach math. That's my assumption because they're my math teacher. Assert means that you offer an opinion. I assert this. I believe this. Now we have attribute and attribution. Attribute, attribution. So a work of art might be attributed to a painter, but we might not be 100% certain it is the painter, but it's attributed. So we assign it, we assume that it was made by this painter, but we're not 100% sure. It's attributed to them. It's associated with them. Calculate, calculation. Calculate, calculation. Circumvent, circumvention. If you circumvent the rules, you go around them. So if you circumvent anything, you go around. You don't go through it, you circumvent. You avoid it. You go around it. So around, because we see circle. It comes from circle, which is the beginning of this word. Circumvent, circumvention. All right, let's continue. All right, now we have ick endings, so let's take a look. Scientist, scientific. Scientist, scientific. So whenever you see an IC ending, it is an adjective. So we have a noun, the scientist is a person, scientific is the adjective, a scientific research. Economy, economic. Economy, economic. There are many economic factors to attribute to the depression. All right, atom, atomic. Notice the stress difference. Atom, atomic. Of course, we normally collocate that with atomic bomb, which unfortunately exists. Artist, artistic. Artist, artistic. All right. Now let's practice a few of these here. We're just going to practice, let's practice. So repeat after me. I'm going to give the short version and the long version. Communicate, communicative. Communicate, communicative. Let's practice this again. The adjective communicative, I'm sorry, that's communication. Sorry about that. Let's try it again. Communicate, communication. That's a noun. Communicate, communication. So the stress is on the CA of communication. Communicate, communication. Now the next one, pessimist, pessimistic. Pessimist, pessimistic. Relate, relation. Relate, relation. Romance, romantic. Romance, romantic. So we have a noun, romance, adjective, romantic. Let's just do the word. Telecommunication. Telecommunication. Nation. Nation. Identify, identification. Identify, identification. Pronounce, pronunciation. It's a big difference. Pronounce, pronunciation. Science, scientific. Science, scientific. Clinic, clinic. Investigate, investigation. Investigate, the verb. Investigation, the noun. Public, public. Discuss, discussion. Discuss, discussion. Okay, now we're going to have a bit of in-class work and then you'll have a homework. So we're nearly finished. I want you to think about the longer word, either IC or ION. Normally it's ION or IC. So think of what the longer word with the suffix is. So number one, introduce, introduction, introduce, introduction. Number two, try to guess it. Base, basic, base, basic. Number three, economy, try to guess. Economic, economy, economic. Number four, describe, what is it? Description, describe, description. Remember this one? Romance. What's the adjective? Romantic. Romance, romantic. Noun, adjective. Compete, competition. Compete, competition. All right, very good. Last set, and then you'll have your homework. And then I'll answer questions. Optimist, what is it? Optimistic. Optimist, optimistic. So we have a noun and an adjective. Celebrate, celebration. Celebrate, celebration. Do you hear the stress is different? Here we have diplomat, diplomatic. Diplomat, diplomatic. A diplomat is the person, and diplomatic is the adjective that describes the behavior of a diplomat. He's being diplomatic, or she's diplomatic. Operate, operation. Operate, operation. Explain, explanation. Explain, explanation. Finally, decide, decision. Decide, decision. Try those. All right, now here is your homework. Go through this again. I'll upload it onto Instagram and YouTube, so you have two options. And send me a recording if you want of the 2 or 3 most difficult words from today. I will listen to it and give you my feedback. So we have a bit of interaction, a bit of homework, and I want to see you improve. For those who are new, every Saturday we go live because we want to improve your pronunciation over the course of 2021.